Hello, everybody, and welcome to Brooks Knows Baseball. This is going to be our trade deadline special. What we do, we're going to keep it kind of quick and short, probably no more than 15 minutes. But I do want to say, if you are here now, we did release a video today, which is by far our best video. We have, when you guys see this, probably around 4,000 views on that video, which is fantastic for us. We've gained almost 13 or 14 new subscribers as well, which doesn't sound like much, but when we didn't have much, we're over like 180% on subscribers too. So welcome. I seem to have made a few people upset with my Shohei Ohtani takes, but you know what? Hopefully I righted the ship
I
by
tried to tell you
making.
about Shohei at the time we did the show. I told you he was the best player in baseball. I won't say any more. I think he's proved me right. Go ahead.
Well,
Wait a minute.
yeah,
Let's see. He's got a 1.07 OPS, 30 home runs, 67 RBIs, scored 60 run, and he just is going to make his third All Star appearance. Okay, and we're not talking about his pitching.
yeah. First, not yeah. Well, if
I'm
you haven't
watching
seen
their
the
game.
video, it's only a minute long. Watch the video. We're getting a lot of comments, a lot of likes on it. So some people are saying I'm stupid, which you know what, maybe. But look at our other
Would you take
predictions.
him on your team?
No, I take Ryan McKenna.
Okay.
But like I said, this is going to be our trade special. We might do one more probably the week of the deadline as
I think we
well.
should.
We should,
There's a
because
lot of
trade
rumors
stuff to
floating.
me is
A lot of rumors.
awesome.
They're starting to pick up.
Like hell, I'm just reading right here, looking over some of the notes I took. The Cubs said they're not going to extend Marcus Stroman, so that means Marcus
There you
Stroman is
go.
gone.
Probably the
Big.
biggest pitcher on the market.
I think he is the biggest pitcher. I don't think Corbin Burns is going anywhere.
Well,
But
hey, before we get any further, we need to mention we had our first trade.
right,
Aroldis Chapman went to the Rangers, who desperately needed someone in the bullpen.
for essentially nothing.
Right, exactly.
So I think it's like a minor leaguer whose ERA is like a 5.6, and then I can't remember the other fella they got, but they traded two guys, Aroldis Chapman back in on a playoff contention team, arguably the best team in the league with the Texas Rangers.
Yeah, they're definitely. I think the Braves are, but anyway.
Yeah, go ahead. I know you did some homework on this. Go ahead and I'll chime in when needed. Look up some more rumors here while we're doing, see if anything breaks.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to make it
Wait a
quick.
minute. I'm sorry. There's talk about Pete Alonso getting traded. I'm reading right here.
I haven't heard that one.
Ooh. Ken Rosenthal and John Heyman of the New York Post said it's extremely unlikely, but they're considering trading Pete Alonso. If they're
See, I
considering
think
trading Pete Alonso, they're going to
I think
consider trading Verlander, Scherzer, fire
Verlander had
sale.
a really good game today. He got a win.
Maybe that's what the Mets want.
Well, but we'll get to them. Well, no, we start with them. On the Mets, you look at Verlander, Scherzer, maybe Marte, Ottavino. What about Pham? Tommy Pham, right-handed hitter, batting 285 and about 178 at bats, I think. 9 homers, 33 RBIs. He's an older guy, right-handed hitter, outfield DH kind of guy. Someone might need a hitter. He'd be perfect for a lot of teams. They got David Robertson. He's their closer now. 2.00 ERA, 1.03 WHIP, 11 saves in 32 games. Someone might need him. You
Yeah.
know, and Scherzer,
He's not who he was. He's
no,
still,
but
I
he is
think,
7-2. He finds a way to win. He's got a sub
what's his
4
whip,
ERA.
though? His
Pardon?
ERA, his whip is high. I think
Yeah,
it's been in quite a while, and his
but
ERA I know is high since 2011.
he has a no trade clause, so he'd have to waive that. And I'm
Oh,
sure
he would
Verlander
definitely waive that.
and Verlander probably the same because they can see the handwriting on the wall right now. There's not a lot there. But if you got anything to add on them, I don't think they'll trade people like McNeil. I don't think they'll trade Alonso. I think that's just them making a
Well, I don't think
splash to
they'll
get
trade
some views.
Alonso either. But I don't know. But the Mets are just so bad this
I know.
year, and
And
it's not expected.
you think they're
So
going to
I don't
turn
know.
around, and it's just not happening. What are they like
They're not.
15,
They're
15 games?
they're almost 10 games under 500.
Yeah,
They're
and the
9 games
Braves
under
got.
500 right now. They're 18. The division's gone. They're 18 and a half back. They ain't making that up. There's no way they're
Right.
going to make that up.
Well, speaking of
Uh,
that division, I heard that the Phillies might be shopping Aaron Nola. Now they're still in their wild card, so I don't.
I don't believe that at
Now,
all.
well, Nola's had a crap year. It's like a 4.72 ERA, I think. I don't know if I got.
They're only a game and a half out of the playoffs right now.
But Nola is a free agent after the year.
I don't know.
So
Well,
that's something to think about.
who's
Miami's
going to?
probably not going to
They have a
unload.
lot of prospects too, Philly. I wouldn't be surprised if they get a guy either. They got some prospects, high end prospects too. Andrew Painter being one of them. I know he's hurt this year,
Well,
but big name.
I think as we start, I looked at it, and I think the teams that'll be buyers are both LA teams because the Angels are in the wild card. Okay, I but speaking of
Hold on,
that,
wait, 1 second.
are they going to trade Ohtani?
Well,
Think about it. They here's the thing. The, I say no because they're barely in their wild card race.
I'll
But
play devil's advocate here because since I'm made an ass of myself at Ohtani, you say no, I'll say yes, and I'll give you the reasons why. They're I don't think they will, but I can give reasons why they would. It'd be an attractive idea if the right deal came along.
but if you're a team buying, his contract's up. Most teams, there's only a few teams can afford him.
L.A.
Okay, and
and
L.A.,
that's it.
L.A., and New
The
York, and
Yankees.
Boston.
But the Yankees said when he was a free agent overseas, they got the impression he did not want to live in New York City when they met with him.
Gee, wonder why. Anyway, that's another story for another day. But I say no because if I'm just say let's start a team, let's say Arizona or Baltimore, team with a lot of prospects. Why? And they can't re-sign them. Why
Yeah,
would you give them 3 or 4 great prospects for 3 months? Yeah, it could push you over the top. Could you imagine putting him in the middle of their lineups or any team or in pitching? Because, for example, Baltimore could really use him. But Baltimore may be a wild card in a deal like that. And the reason I say that, the word is they're getting ready to get $100 million from Masson that they didn't expect in some kind of lawsuit, that big one they have with the Nationals and them. So you throw that out there, boom, you may have your money, and you think what kind of draw he would be. I mean, the
oh yeah,
Orioles sold out today just because they gave away Hawaiian shirts.
yeah. The biggest
And
crowd of the year was today for
yeah,
him. It's good for
right.
him, but
But
well, I do want to touch on that. Like you're saying, like the Orioles are one of the only teams that really, realistically, you would. I mean, they'd have to give up probably Jackson Holiday, Colton Cowser, Kirst. I mean, they'd have to give up probably 4 of their top 5 prospects to get him.
well, I would only
That's
do
not
that
worth
if
it
I
to me.
could talk to him and get him signed beforehand.
That's still, I don't know. That's worth it to me. I mean,
Well,
what?
I don't know.
How many times does it work out in any sports where you trade the farm for one guy?
Well, that's true. That's true. But they got another wave coming. But uh, they need pitching. But let's get on it. Back to my teams that are buyers in the trade market. I think Baltimore, Texas, Minnesota, because they're still in first place. Um, Tampa Bay, Toronto, Cleveland, Houston, Atlanta, Miami, Philly, Cincinnati, Milwaukee, maybe. Are they a buyer? Who knows? They're in the race. They're tied or getting back. I think they're tied now.
They're tied right now, yeah, with Cincinnati.
Arizona and San Francisco. Those are the teams. Oh, San Francisco is a team that might go for Ohtani if they get pitched
What
because they get
what do
money
you what do you think about the Red Sox being buyers?
for Ohtani or buyers in
No,
general.
just in general. They're only 3.5 back from the wild card.
Well, they might, but they're so ancient they could break down at any time. That's
It's
my
true.
personal
I
feeling.
think
But
they're overshooting expectations this year. Which, if you're a Red Sox fan, I would personally be not happy, but I would be. They could easily be 10 games under right now or more.
right, I definitely think so. And I also heard a rumor that Salvatore Perez with KC might be available. Now
It'd look
he'd
weird to
have
see
to,
him in another jersey.
yeah, he'd have to waive the no trade. But what teams could use him? Could the Padres? They need a catcher. Could the Yankees? They kind of sort of need a catcher. They got a good defensive catching guys, but they don't have anybody can hit. Can you imagine him in Yankee Stadium?
I want to.
And then when you go to trades, the Cubs, I hear Stroman and Bellinger are available. Bellinger's not any good, but he is having somewhat of a resurgence. I mean, he's only hit 7 home runs. It's a far cry from his 40-some MVP year, and he's only batting 266. So I wouldn't give much for him. But Stroman now, him. But I tell you who else that might fly under the radar if the Cubs decide to sell. What about Kyle Hendricks, pitcher, 3-3. I
Yeah.
think 7 starts, 2.81, WHIP under 1. How about Mark Leiter in their bullpen right here? 33 games, 241, and a .86 out of bullpen. There's one Leiter that can play and pitch, unlike the one with Texas. How about Drew Smiley? He's more of an innings eater, sub 4. He's 7-5, 129 WHIP. But and then while I'm in the Central, Milwaukee, Corbin Burns is a wild card. We've talked about him before, and He is 6-5 with a 4 ERA. His worst season since his rookie year, I believe.
Yep.
113 WHIP. But
He's in his strikeout games, or his strikeouts, I believe, are down this year as well.
but
Yeah.
what does that really mean? You know,
Well, I think it means more than he's not missing as many bats. And you can look at his WHIP and his ERA; they're higher than normal, what they usually
hey,
been. So I think that's
but
something to worry about. And he's only 28, so that's not good. But what you don't want a Dylan
what?
Cease situation where Dylan Cease has really turned on lately, but he's
Yeah.
not what he was last year. At least not yet.
Well, back to Milwaukee. What about Wade Miley? He's old, but you probably could get him for not much. He's 5-2 for 3.02 ERA, 106 WHIP.
Yeah.
You know, uh, Pittsburgh, McCutcheon. He's about 282, 10
They
homers. He may go
trade.
somewhere.
They ain't trading
Well,
him.
you never know. Might get him as a DH. And then
I,
I'm hearing all of a sudden, did you hear rumor that Goldschmidt may be out of St. Louis and Arenado?
where
Think of
where do you
that.
think he could go?
Who, Arenado?
He's a good, great
What's he like,
bat.
30 years old? So he's got some time left.
Future
Great
Hall of
fielder,
Famer.
great bat.
Future Hall of Famer.
Uh,
One Arenado.
well, well, I know who would give up the farm for him. Who needs a third baseman in the American League East? The Yankees, because Donaldson ain't cutting it.
I
And
would
I'd
hate
hate
to
to
see
see
that.
it,
I would
but
hate.
hey, I can see
They
it.
would probably give up Dominguez. They'd have to give up Dominguez. Maybe Volpe.
Dominguez, yeah, well, they realize now he's not what they thought he was. Of course, any
Volpe.
Yankees signings of Mickey Mantle. Yeah, Volpe's got a little hot lately.
Well,
Good for him.
Yankees are gonna have to do something because they're right now they're what, third place in the AL East, and they're pretty far back in third place. I know the Orioles are,
That
but
whole division this week is treading water.
yeah, but the
All of them.
Orioles would have lost four in a row to the freak,
Yeah,
or two to the Twins, which is a
yeah. Orioles finally
Bailey
get a
Over did fantastic
good
today. I do
pitch
want to
game.
say that Bailey Over looked great.
Yeah, North
I root
Carolina.
for the Twins every single day except when they play the Orioles.
Yeah, well, uh,
Well, hold on.
but
I want to touch some on the Yankees here. Um, so they got a couple prospects to see who they could realistically get rid of.
because they're
And
not going to trade Arenado cheap or Goldschmidt.
no,
They
no,
don't have to. They could get some. Now you
they
take the teams in a running like Baltimore don't need either one of them.
no,
Well, they could use a first baseman.
yeah, but the Yankees only have two top 100 prospects. To
Of course,
get him, you're gonna have to
if
give both of those guys, Dominguez and Austin Wells.
if Baltimore got Arenado, they could move Henderson to third base permanently. And fortunately, they haven't been playing Mateo like the last 3 or 4 games. Granted, they lost him, but it wasn't because of him. Um,
I don't think that's something they would do. Well, they do need a bat because they can't hit worth a shit.
yeah, they finally pitched good. Baltimore's not going anywhere. Okay,
I think they're
unless
a good team, but they're not a great team.
they have
I
no
think they can
pitching.
be.
They got 2 guys in the bullpen. That's it.
Yeah.
Maybe Cologne sometimes, but other than
Connell
that,
Wellness good. Bradish did good today.
yeah, Bradish has got good numbers, but
Bradish is good.
Gibson's a
Connell Wellness is good.
has-been piece of junk.
Like you're saying, Bradish and Wells, they're more 3-4 guys.
Right.
Maybe Wells maybe a 2 or 3, but they're not.
Kramer, I've given up on. He's nothing. He's nothing. Gibson, nothing. Okay, Irvin, I doubt it. Um, Rodriguez needs to be called back up, but we're not talking about them right now. But so they got to get a pitcher, or they can hang it up.
Yep,
Maybe a bat, but they're
they
hitting
do.
generally okay.
I think you
Um,
need an average guy on base guy.
but go back to St. Louis. I'll hear that Gallegos, the relief pitcher, is not having a good year. Probably his worst year is available. Flaherty, who pitched a good game, they beat the Yankees. He's 5-5, 4.60. Jordan Hicks, they say he throws really hard, but 405 numbers, 144 WHIP. Why would I give much for him? Now, one pitcher that I do like and he's American League East guy for Baltimore, maybe the Yankees, maybe Toronto might want Tampa. Jordan Montgomery. He's 352, 127 WHIP, but he knows the East. He was a Yankee. He was always tough to play against. So he's a solid pitcher. I think he'd be a good addition for anybody.
Yeah, I do
Um,
too.
and I look at other teams real quick. Washington, they got a lot of guys that people might want. Jamer Candelaria, 264 hitter, 10 home runs, 38 RBIs, switch hitter, could be a valuable piece. Out of the bullpen, Carl Edwards, Kyle Finnegan, Hunter Harvey, finally staying healthy. He's got like 8, 9, 10 saves, 103 WHIP, strikes out a lot of people, 3.25 ERA. Joey Meneses, no power Joey. 283. Dominic Smith, a career. He's getting to play. He's batting 265. He's solid. But how about, I don't know if they want to give him up. I think he's 28, but Lane Thomas. No one knows Lane Thomas, but Lane Thomas is quietly hitting 303, plays every day, plays center field, 14 homers, 44 RBIs. There's a guy, you know. What that's pretty much. I mean, I got more notes, but we need to keep it going. But
There's one guy I'm like I said, we won't go much longer here. That is interesting to me. If you look at the stats, my computer's going kind of kaput on me here. But I was looking up recently. Kyle Freeland, someone to look at as well. He's 30
yeah,
years old. His ERA is a 4.8, but I believe away from Colorado, it
Colorado.
drops to like 4.1 or 4.2.
Hey,
So it's much lower
he
away
may
from
be
Colorado.
right. He may be something if he gets away from there. But hey, you brought this up to me. White Sox supposedly Giolito can be had, Dylan Cease and Lance Lynn, and I'm sure Tim Anderson. I think he had a grand slam today.
I saw a stat today in their last 300 at bats. Zach Greinke has more home runs than Tim Anderson.
Well, he hit a grand slam today, Poppy.
Poppy, come on, T-Bone.
Greinke. Yeah, well, I'm a Tim Anderson guy, but anyway, and they say Shane Bieber could be available, but he ain't
I
going to
don't
be.
know. Way
Their
no, they
game's
were first place yesterday or 2 days ago
yeah,
before
they're right
they
there. How about
here.
Alex?
I do want to say this real quick. So looking at where is it? Kyle Freeland here. Well, unless I read the wrong stats, I am really wrong on his splits. He's a 5.9 away from Colorado, so maybe he should stay in Colorado.
Yeah, maybe he's from there.
Maybe there was
Headhunt.
someone else on Colorado's pitching staff. Who else
I
would
thought
it
it
have
was
been?
him.
Maybe I thought
Oh,
it was him. It couldn't have been Gomber. Gomber's awful.
we got a stat alert here. Otani's up. I'll tell you what happens here after he hits a home run. Is he going to hit his 31st? We'll see.
It won't be
Um,
500 feet.
yeah, probably 493. But yeah, that's pretty much what I got. Alec Lang, Detroit pitcher. They use sparingly, but he does good. He throws hard. He could be a back end bullpen for one of these teams. It's going to be interesting. What about Giolito? Baltimore, San Francisco, L.A., New York, L.A., Texas, all of them could use him. Bieber, I don't think's going, but that's pretty much what I think right there.
Yeah. I think we said this previously. This is some of the most exciting times, I believe, um, in baseball. The trading, the GM aspect of it is something. It's incredible to me. I really, really, really enjoy it. I'm excited to see how it works out. But I do want to say, if you're here again, we're going to cut this short here. We have a regular podcast that's going to be out every Monday. I think we're shooting this on Saturday night. We're going to I'm just
You
going to.
think it's Saturday night, or you don't
I
know?
know it's
I can
Saturday.
tell you.
We'll release it tonight probably. But if you're here, like it, share it, subscribe. We're growing rapidly, which is fantastic. We'll just keep giving opinions, which a lot of people don't like my opinions, but it's okay.
I can
Because if you don't
understand
like
that.
my opinions, look where we projected the Orioles to be in the preseason. Look at some of those older videos. I'd say, what do you think? I bet we're hitting at
Hey, you know what? You know
80%.
what we should do at the All Star break? Why don't we have a show and we
Recap.
revamp our predictions?
Yeah.
We
Well,
update them.
I know we said, I said the two best teams in the American League would be Texas and Baltimore.
Didn't
And I
see
ain't
Tampa
far
Bay,
off.
but
I didn't
hey,
say Tampa,
I'll
but
bet you,
I
I'll
ain't far
bet
off.
you Tampa don't win that division.
Who do you think? It depends what the Orioles do because the Yankees. I don't think the Yankees have it. The Blue Jays are. No, Blue Jays could get hot though.
Yankees going to have to make some moves because Donaldson kills them. DJ LeMahieu's doesn't hit anymore. Rizzo's died out a little bit. Volpe's starting to hit again, and Judge that kills him because Judge is an amazing player. When you say the best player in baseball, well, he's right up there. If he could pitch, he's got more power than Ohtani does.
I won't talk good about him.
Who, Aaron?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, because he's a Yankee. Hey, would you take him on your team?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I wouldn't take him.
And he can reach up and get them balls going over the wall because I've seen it happen to my
He's a
team.
hell of a fielder too.
He's good.
Gold
That's right.
Glove caliber fielder. Let's wrap it up here. We are just talking about it. Like I said, if you're here, like it, share it, subscribe it, comment on this. Let us know what we're doing. Let us know the opinions. What trades are you guys looking forward to? If what team? Let us know what team you like and who you want. I'm an Oriole fan.
Right.
I want a pitcher and I want a hitter. That's what they need in the back in
Well,
rotation. Bullpen guy. They need a bullpen guy because our starters have been so bad this year. It's not so bad, but they've been taxing the hell out of that bullpen, and it's going to die out later in the year. So I think they need a bullpen guy for me, an on-base guy, and then a good top-end rotation starter. And they got the pieces to do it. Let me know what you guys want for your team.
All right. Well, that's it for This Week in Baseball, folks. I'm sorry, This Week in Baseball. Wow, listen to me. That's all for this. Brooks Knows Baseball, folks.
Come on, T-Bone.
Catch you next
Good night,
time.
everybody. Bye.
Now we're going to have to refilm everything.